Hello and welcome to the mill. I am your host, Dusty Crane, and this week I just finished my game night and I didn't want it to end. That's why, we got kind of this no frills set up this week, and I thought, I'd just kind of sit across the table and shoot the breeze a little bit. And so let's talk Stonemaier for a little bit, should we? The big announcement last week, and I hope you guys got this notification through the pictures that you can post on the feed if you're subscribed to the mill, was that Stonemaier announced their next expansion for Wingspan early. They announced the Oceania? Why am I so bad at pronouncing words? Expansion for Wingspan, and that's going to focus on Australia and New Zealand. And this is an expansion that's still a ways out, right? It's not until like the end of 2020, and that's not Stonemaier's MO. They don't typically announce ahead of time what something's going to be or what it's going to be called. I mean, Stonemaier plays it very close to the chest, and they keep it secret. So I mentioned last week in the comments of the video in the show notes, and then also posted a picture that said Jamie was doing until January 22nd. Everyone who signed up just to get notified about the Oceania expansion. This is going to haunt me, y'all. Whoever gets signed up for this, just to be notified about this expansion, no purchase necessary, for every email, just to be told about it when it's available, or when it's available for pre-order. You do that, and he would donate $1 to Wires, which is a charity in Australia that aids birds. Most everyone probably knows, if you're watching this kind of along the time that I post them. Australia is having a lot of issues with wildfires and keeping those fires under control. I know some of them naturally occurring, and others caused unfortunately by people, but they've lost so many animals and wildlife and birds, and we don't yet know what that full extent of that is going to be. But Wires is a charity that Jamie chose to that focuses on birds, and Jamie went ahead and took that money. For every email address, he donated $1. That grand total came to $7,439 That is a lot of email addresses, but more importantly, converted to Australian, that's 10,834 Australian dollars. So my question to you guys, first of all, great job, Jamie. Great job, Stonemaier Games, and great job to all of you who gave your email address. It was such an easy way to contribute. I hope everyone who was interested in this did, and maybe if you just wanted to help in some way, that was a nice way to go about doing it. So we know what's next for Wingspan. Does that have you psyched? I know so many people are excited about this expansion. You saw a lot of, okay, we did England, when you come to Australia, when we do in Australia, there's so many cool birds. And I think one of the birds in Australia, that I think it's called a caraway, it's that bird that's got that crazy raptor hook and gut. I don't know. It's a very dangerous bird. For a game with no take that, how can you make this bird not be a take that bird? Thematically, there's gotta be some attack you do on an opponent, right? I kind of hope so. I don't like take that in a game, but it seems like thematically this bird has got to be devastating. I would love to see what that looks like in practice, and maybe we'll see it at the end of this year. So that's the Wingspan news I had for you this week. There was also kind of, I don't know, I didn't see it right away, so I don't know if it was kind of quietly introduced, but there's some new Tapestry adjustments. This is the PDF that I found, or that Jamie posted to the Stonemaier Games website. Is dated January 2020, and if you look out on the share, it looks like it just went up here just within the last few days. And I don't know exactly what changed, because when revision 3 went up, revision 2 went away. So I thought originally I'd heard that he was taking away the penalties because people don't like penalties, but I still see penalties on this on this sheet, so it's not just like here's a benefit. So maybe they're less punishing. But I did play a game of Tapestry last week with my son, and we played with the new adjustments, and he got out to a little bit of an early start. I think he had the one that I think gives you 15, the heralds. So it was the chosen. And he did well. I don't remember who won that game, but I did feel, you know what? I think I did. It was actually, yeah, I did, and it was actually my first game that I surpassed 200 points. So I was pretty psyched about that. I really didn't think that day would come. So that was super cool. Yeah, so the tapestry adjustments, we still have no change on the nomads, mystics, isolationists, leaders, militants, inventors, and entertainers. So it's still about half. I think it is exactly half. Alchemists have, when starting the game with the alchemist, gain any 2 resources. Don't do this if you gain alchemist during the game. Architects, when starting the game with architects, 3 or more total players gain 10 victory points per opponent. Don't do it if you gain it during play. Craftsmen, when starting the game with craftsmen, gain 1 fewer resource during your first income turn. Futurists, when starting the game with futurist starting benefit, lose 1 culture and any other 1 resource. Heralds, when starting the game with the heralds, lose 15 victory points. So basically you start with a negative 15 victory point. Merrymakers, when you start with them, you gain any 1 resource. The chosen, they start with 15 victory points per opponent. And traders, when starting the game with the traders, gain any 2 resources, and don't do it if you gain it during game play. So those are the adjustments. They seem pretty similar with what we had before, so I don't know if maybe there's just some clarification. I'm kind of burying the lead here because right now, I guess the theme, it's not even a Stonemaier theme, because it's dumb that I even kind of frame it that way, because two of these 3 things that I'm about to mention are completely out of Jamie's hands, completely out of Joe's hands. I wanted to say delay, and the reason I say that is because we got notices a little while ago that viticulture beta begins, and then that was delayed. I think just recently though they started the first bringing people into the beta, and then Charterstone Digital, the beta will begin, and I think that was back in December, and still, or November even, and still nothing has gone out there, at least that I'm aware of. Delay, and then the third delay is actually kind of a quiet one, and it is something that Jamie's mentioned in the live stream. Originally, we were supposed to have an announcement on My Little Scythe, and now Jamie had mentioned that it might be a month or 2 now before he makes that announcement. So I guess I'm just curious how you go from announcing, I don't know, maybe this week, maybe next week, to a month or 2 delay. I'm wondering if what that could mean, like if that was something where did something catastrophic happen in shipping, or was there an opportunity to do some kind of timed promotion with some other thing going on? I don't know. Is there like a Nickelodeon Kids Choice Award in February or something? Or February, that would be a month away. In March, or April even. So I can't even think of what that might be. So what do you think? We went from possibly having a game we could, or an expansion we could buy from Stonemaier this month, to having to wait a month or 2. So I'm bummed about that. I did have a chance to play test the expansion, and so I know these things change after we get the playtesters get their hands on it. So what I played, I enjoyed. It was just paper and stuff, and I'm not going to go into any details, but I liked what that added to My Little Scythe. So I'm excited whenever it happens, a month from now, 2 months from now, whenever that is. That's one to pick up for sure. Hit that purchase button. If you like My Little Scythe, if you have young kids in the family, or grandkids that you want to play this with, it's a really nice way to introduce them to Scythe. Scythe, it makes me happy. And I'm also excited because this was one of the things we arranged to play Scythe next week at my next game. I don't know if it's next week, the week after. We got to work out some scheduling, but yay! So more My Little Scythe coming, and yeah, that's all I have for you this week. It was maybe a little more informal than we normally do around here, but I'm still kind of hyped. I'm still kind of hyped from game night and wanted to share that with you guys. So huge donation from Stonemaier Games. Thanks to everything you guys did in terms of signing up for the newsletter. We got some new Tapestry adjustments for January 2020, and delay, but really, I mean, who knows what it means. Feel free to drop your speculation in the comments. Man, I hope it's not a catastrophic shipping issue. That'd be rough. But yeah, that's all I have this week. If you have any recommendations, if you'd like to hear me talk about any topics, if there's any game that I haven't covered enough, or that some topic you want me to cover on the game, feel free to voice that in the comments, and I'll see what I can do for you. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. That's so important. They're not just words. Please, please, please actually do take care of yourself, take care of each other, and I will see you again next week. Thanks. Take care. Bye.